both gonna be taken away, and I'm gonna be out on the street again. Is that what you want?
You want to blame me? Go ahead. I can't save you.
So first of all, congratulations on this movie. I was truly blown away by both of your performances. And I want to start with you, Vanessa, because I believe this is also the first feature that you're releasing with your production company, which is so exciting. What is the biggest thing you feel like you learned through this process of producing that you feel like you're going to take with you to future projects?
Yeah, God, I think we all learned so much. It was, this movie was a book. And we read the book, and even though it was such a hard, difficult journey and story of this woman, and we knew it would be really hard to adapt, and we knew it would be a hard film to watch. But I think we wanted to take the risk because there just haven't been many Lynettes on screen before, and there haven't been many Glorias on screen, and it felt to us like it was representational of something that perhaps hadn't been on screen before. So that's always been a big motivator. And it will continue to be, I think, because it's a hard protagonist to watch. But I think the book did so beautifully was it always framed it to go, okay, so this woman, we might not always agree with what she's doing, the choices she makes or the extremity she goes to, but we know why, because the system is just not set out to help her. And it's against her, and it's a daily struggle for her. And when human beings are in really desperate situations, they do really desperate things. And that's society's responsibility to take care of them, and the responsibility for people that have much more. So, that felt really important to us to try and put it on screen. So even though it's a really challenging watch, it felt like her voice was, we were really, really honored that we got to even, to try.
Yeah, absolutely. Julia, you have such a gift for making some of the wildest dialogue sound so natural and so real. So I have to know, what is your technique for mastering that sort of conversational flow? And also, was there any ad-libbing involved in your scene in particular?
Yes, I'm always pushing to just like riff and do a little bit of improv because I feel like it just always ends up sounding more natural. And I'm such a stickler for that. Like even when I watch movies, I'm always like, it's too scripted. I love it just to feel like so raw. And Ben and Vanessa were amazing at, kind of just letting me do my thing. And, it's tough too, because like Vanessa's British. So she had to like really keep up. And it was just such a like, wow, she's just such an incredible like dynamic actress and like got the lingo.
I don't think I did actually. Like I barely kept up with her. She was an
No, you did. You were so
came
good.
in and she went boom. And she was just every take. I actually think you could have a 5-hour movie from just that scene. For
just our takes. We did so many takes.
So many takes, but you were just genius, and she was just she was just riffing all this stuff, and my main task was to try not to laugh because it was just being so funny. There's tons of stuff in the scene that's, if only we could have done like a half an hour version of it, but in the scene, there's loads of your ad-libs in it. So many.
Yeah.
I would watch the 5-hour version of that for sure.
Right.
Speaking of authenticity, Vanessa, you touched on this a little bit, but I really love the focus on the family dynamics in this movie, particularly between Lynette and Kenny, because I feel like we so rarely see that like representation in particular, but I imagine it's one that's going to resonate really hard with a lot of people. How did you work with Zack and Benjamin to like make sure you were doing that sibling relationship justice and like telling it in a genuine way?
Well, Zack's one of my favorite actors, and obviously everyone loves him in Peanut Butter Falcon. We were laughing earlier, remembering that we would walk down the street when we were bonding and getting to know each other before we started filming. And we went bowling and we did loads of fun stuff together. And people would always come rushing up to us and they would be always recognizing him. They would always be like his biggest fan. And it was so sweet and cool because I felt the same about him. And he'd go, yes, I am the star of Peanut Butter Falcon. Thank you very much. And he's like, do you want a signature or do you want a picture? So he was one of my heroes. And then, I felt really, honestly, I felt so honored to work with him. And I felt really nervous because he's so real and he's so present and he's so alive. And sometimes I felt quite acty compared, because he's got the ability of total presence. So that was awesome. And we just did we really got to know each other. So I wanted him to feel like super comfortable with me and vice versa. And And then, you know, he really does feel like my big brother now. And he still rings me up and calls me his little sister. And there's a whole other movie of them being like super happy together that I wish we could have done, because that's how we were off set.
Oh, I love it. You're just saying all these things. I want to see all of it. Hopefully there'll be some like deleted scenes that we get to see. But I feel like this is the year where you are just like kicking ass left and right between this movie and obviously Fantastic Four. I'm so curious, how does the way that you approach action scenes in something more, I guess, grounded and gritty like this movie, and obviously something a lot like larger scale with more like magic involved, with Marvel sort of differ for you?
I guess in this one, it was really important, you know, like Lynette is not a superhero of any kind. And when you read the book, you know, she does a lot of things that are very physically extreme. And I wanted to make sure that you never like not believed that she could do it. So even if there's like a you know, a mad fight type thing, we didn't want her to be like suddenly kung fu or like good at martial arts. Do you know what I mean? This is a person that doesn't have a clue about that stuff. And yet also, wanted her to be someone that you believably would be able to know those scenarios, to know what a dangerous situation was, to know how to navigate it. You know what I mean? Not like that you wouldn't doubt could somehow tough it out, because she has to for such a long stretch of this night, as she does in the book. I mean, it's almost crazy how much she does. There's a lot more in the book even than we could put in the film. But yeah, I asked Julie a lot of questions because she has such an amazing history and she has so many friends, and you've been around so many women that are real survivors. So that was so useful for me. I must have asked you so many questions also about your best friend, Harmony, you know, and that was really inspiring to me. And I thought about her all the way through the film, because there are so many women like that had really, really extreme lives and, you know, had been so brave in the face of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And for you, Julia, I mean, you play such a key role in this movie. I feel like Gloria acts as a catalyst for a lot of things that unfold, but you really only have one whirlwind scene to sort of do it. So how do you approach that challenge of knowing that you have a fairly limited amount of space to make such an essential impact on the movie?
I mean, honestly, the same way I would approach a movie that I'm in a lot of scenes in, you know, you just have to like really believe it. You know, like that's always my thing. It's like, I cannot be a good actress if I don't believe it, you know? So it's just about, you know, setting everything up so that it's real. And honestly, on a night shoot in Portland with Vanessa and just like the vibe, it was like, I just felt like those were the ingredients that really kind of, you know, catapulted us into this, you know, kind of terrible situation to be in, but it worked.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both so much. I seriously enjoyed this movie so much, and I can't wait to see you produce more, Vanessa, and you in more, Julia. I just really loved it, and congratulations on this.
Thank you so much.